The B2 section starts at question 7. The first question asks you to use the table to make a conclusion about Joanna's blood pressure, and her blood pressure is classed as normal according to the table, as it's 115/62. The next question asks you to calculate by how much she will need to reduce her blood pressure to move it to the normal category. And the highest value in the normal category is 79 for the lower value of the blood pressure, the diastolic value, and therefore that is 11 lower than her current 90. So that's how much she needs to reduce it by. Part 3 of A here asks you to describe how effective the drug has been at reducing Andrew's hypertension. There are no marks if you simply state effective or not effective. The values of the new blood pressure, when it's been reduced by 10 millimeters of mercury for both the lower and the higher values, have to be compared to the table values. Therefore, it's partially effective, because the lowering of the lower value, the diastolic value, is now very close to normal and therefore has reduced it to mild hypertension. However, the higher value remains in the moderate hypertension category, and therefore it has not been as effective to the higher value. So both these aspects have to be included to achieve 2 marks. For part B, you have to draw a graph, the line on the axis, and it should be a positive correlation. So the line should be going from the bottom left-hand corner of the graph, moving diagonally across and upwards. B part 2 considers some how science works aspects. So the study was carried out in the USA, makes no difference, and that should be the column that is ticked, as where the study takes place is irrelevant considering what the study is about. The fact that 100,000 people took part means that Andrew can be more confident in the scientist's conclusions because that's a large number of people. The fact that the study was peer-reviewed also makes Andrew more confident. The fact that it was carried out in 2011 should not make any difference when considering the study that was taking place. The year should not matter. However, the study was funded by a company that sells fresh fruit juices, would make Andrew less confident, as clearly this company will be biased towards the outcome given the product that they're selling. The final part of question 7 asks you to consider some more data handling and to use the data to describe how age affects the risk of heart disease for men and women. So from the data, it is clear that the older you are, whether male or female, you have a greater risk of dying from heart disease. So that is 1 mark. The second mark is for identifying the fact that the difference between men and women gets less as the age increases, as is clearly shown by the bars on the graph. Question 8 is about water balance in the body and requires you to have a good knowledge of the production, release and activity of ADH, antidiuretic hormone. 8a is a knowledge-based question. The part of the body which releases ADH is the pituitary gland. Part B states that the statements are not in the correct order, and an understanding of that at the beginning of this question will help. So when Robert exercises, he loses more water through breathing and sweating. Therefore, for A, the urine that's released will be more concentrated, so concentrated should be ringed. The concentration of the blood plasma increases because of the loss of water through breathing and sweating, so increases should be circled. Due to this increase in the concentration of blood plasma, the kidneys reabsorb more water, so more should be ringed, to try and rebalance the blood plasma concentration. For more water to be reabsorbed, there will be more ADH released, so more should be ringed for letter D. And as we said at the beginning, due to Robert's exercises, more water is lost through breathing and sweating. So for E, also more should be ringed. In order to achieve the mark, the single one mark, all have to be ringed correctly. So any mistakes will lose you the mark. In the same way, for part 2, all the letters have to be in the correct order for you to achieve the single mark. So the letters should be E is given to you, then B, D, C, A. So the understanding behind it is that as more water is lost through breathing and sweating, the concentration of the blood plasma increases, therefore more ADH is released. This causes the kidneys to absorb more water, and therefore the urine that is released is more concentrated. ADH secretion is an example of negative feedback because more or less ADH is released in response to changes in the water levels within the plasma. So lower water level gives rise to more ADH production. The reason for the body responding in this way is that the body works to reverse a change away from the normal. So any difference in the blood plasma concentration away from the normal is reversed by the body, and this is described as negative feedback.